back, lads and ladies, to the second episode of today's Rugby World Cup 2022 for the women. We are here now today, that's a cap on the floor. We are here today to watch USA get completely mullered by Canada, which is happening, but it's not over yet for USA, because they are about 1 metre or so away from the try line. They are trying their best to get the try. I think they've got it. Yep, they got it. That's 12 points to USA, 24 to Canada. So Canada at the 70th mark, still killing USA, but USA not going down. They're still keeping everything together. They've managed to get themselves another try, but Canada's defence is really freaking good. They are trying to slow down USA as much as possible, really. They're doing a good job, but USA just wanting to get over that try line as much as possible. Now all that's left is to see if they can actually get the extra 2 points here for 14. They're going to need this. What I would do is, after getting the conversion, try and force a penalty, go for the 3 points, and then focus solely on the try, because they're going to need an extra 3 points after they get a full conversion. Conversion's being set up here. She's getting ready to take the kick. It's right in front of the post, so she shouldn't miss this. She kicked it to the right, and then as it was about to fly past the post, it was like, no, I'll give it to you. It went into the post. So, if I could explain, like, this is the post. It was coming, and going, boom. So, it kind of like curled in because of the way she kicked the ball, thankfully. But, yeah, it's still, the game's still alive. Just barely. USA take the ball cleanly. They nearly get the break. They want to be careful there. They nearly crawled with that ball. She should have passed off quickly. Pass it off. When you get tackled and you're standing and someone is like trying to pull you down by your hips, pass it off. You don't want to go down with that ball, especially when there's like 3 Canadians in front of you.
Once it gets to knockout rugby, could be a key part of the overall picture. Howard.
Nice.
Kelter. Zachary.
Number 8 really pushing for it. They've made so much ground, USA. They've carried that ball quite far. Even though their forwards aren't the biggest, they've definitely got something about them. Oh my god, they did like a beautiful spin to get past 2 Canadian defenders there. They're trying to throw to the... Oh my god, that girl got run over. Bloody hell. Canadian got run over. USA are trying... Oh, it's been locked on forward by USA. It's in Canada's hands now with an advantage. They kick to try and gain some advantage. It might go out here. It's not. USA are going to take it. It's still in USA's hand now. Canada get the penalty. Interesting. Very interesting. This is probably the most alive I've seen USA. They've been doing well. They've had defence against Canada. They're actually probably the only team that have really kept Canada at arm's distance within themselves, basically, until like the late 50th and 60th minute is where they start to drop off due to exhaustion. But I think the only reason USA are still in this is because of their willingness to carry on through the pain and torture. You know, when you get to that 70th minute mark, you know, your bones are aching, your jaws locked, you're set into a position of your knees crumbling underneath you due to exhaustion and all that shit. Line out for Canada, they take it, they got it still, but I think it was knocked forwards. It was knocked forwards by Canada. Scrum to USA. She kind of dropped when she caught it, but it slipped out of her fingers as she dropped. So it went forward for her, unfortunately. Another. Oh no, she tried to catch it with one hand. How silly. Bloody hell. USA coach needs to lose a couple of pounds. Okay, now. Sorry, I don't mean to be, you know, rude or anything, but fucking hell, man. If you're going to teach these girls rugby, you know, at least be willing to know how to actually run a mile. I feel like these women could easily outrun you if you had the same tests as they did. The point seeds are all practically the same. Canada at 15, New Zealand at 15. For England to catch up to 15, they'll have to win the game against South Africa and probably get over 70 points. So that'll be an interesting game to watch. Right now we're just watching these women back chat one another in the scrum. So we're going to move this forward a bit. Advantage to USA for offside for Canada. USA are going to kick and completely waste the advantage. I don't know why they do that. You might as well run with the ball and then let them have it. You can then gain some metres by doing the line out, but as you do you. It's now in Canada's hands now. 4 minutes left on the clock. Canada have the wing, but are stopped in their tracks by the winger, the American winger. They nearly had a hole there. She would have caught that ball forward. If she would have walked forwards just an inch, she might have been able to get through that line there. USA offside there, so Canada get the penalty. Going to try and get within the 22 metres of USA's line now. The penalties are high in these games, my lord. 13 penalties to Canada. USA has 13 penalties to Canada's 11 penalties. Registered players across the men's, women's, junior. I think the most penalties I've seen, at least within the men's game, was England versus South Africa. I think it was due to the fact that South Africa's forwards are just so dominant within the men's groups that England have to be a little cheeky. I'll put that, cheeky in some of the rucks and stuff like that, which caused so many penalties. And honestly, I'm surprised that we won that game back in the Autumn Nationals, due to in the Autumn Nations, sorry, because we were so, like, 16 penalties is really a lot for an English men's team. And even for South Africa, they were making a couple of mistakes, but nowhere near as much as we were, so we had no right winning that game. But thankfully, we made our kicks count where they did, and South Africa just couldn't land any kicks, like important kicks in that game. So you take what you can get, really. Like what USA can take what they can get with this beautiful little penalty that USA have now. So they have the ball, they have the opportunity to kick for a liner, or they're going to go for a scrum. They're going to go for a scrum. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Right. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. The most America can do at this point is get a try. I don't think they'll have time for a penalty. If they run from this scrum and get the lines perfect, they could get the try and then immediately go for a penalty if they can force it. But by the looks of it, they're being pushed back by Canada. So the opportunity for them is going to be very low, but it's always possible. You never know. America could come back from this. A close line break there from the forwards. They're trying to throw to the wing as quickly as possible. They're getting there, They're trying to get past Canada's defence, but it's not working because Canada are already in position before America can even run to the wing. They try to run back the other way, but it doesn't matter. America has knocked it on forwards, but it doesn't matter because Canada have picked it up and they've got the advantage, so they're going to carry on forward as much as possible. They have the advantage, so they're going to run with it as much as they can. USA are trying to scramble back to their own half just to keep this line sorted. Canada give them a bit of breathing room so they can sort that out, but it doesn't matter because Canada are now going to throw down to the left side of the wing. They have 3 on 2 here, but it doesn't matter. The Canadians have dropped the ball backwards, thankfully, not forwards. America's still fighting for it, but it doesn't matter. The advantage is on Canada's ball. Canada can kick them in the teeth and go for it. Was a deliberate knockdown. Oh, that's a yellow for USA. That's a yellow. America's time here ends with a very not so humble yellow card. It's now Canada's line out. They're going to try and hopefully get another try here.
For me, if USA had won this, she'd have been player of the match. So to see her leave the field for a yellow, but letter of the law, she put her arm out, she effective play.
Successful line out for Canada. It's always looking good by Canada. They're not really pushing forward, they're trying to push them more to the right hand side. USA are trying to pull them down to the ground, not working so well, they keep switching it up. The ball's been dropped at the 5 metre mark here. Line, sorry. Canada getting closer and closer, inch by inch. We're in the red zone. If Canada can hit the try here, it's going to be one hell of a beautiful little point score. Nowhere near there, but they've got the try. Finally, on the left-hand side of the corner of the try line, they've got it. Canada stomp home and show their dominance within their pool with a bonus point. 29 Canada, 14 USA. Brilliant. Good game. Good game. USA have been very, very determined up to a certain point. But yet again, it's those small mistakes. I'm not going to say the yellow really made much of a difference because it was like right at the death. So, yeah, Canada earned that win. Canada have earned their place in the quarters. We've still got the kick to come, but this is a very far corner, so I don't think this is going to be a possible hit here. Well, she's taking this seriously. She's really wanting to nail this. It'd be amazing if she can nail this, though. Kick's gone. It's good. It's good. It's gone under. Shame. Shame. That'd have been so nice. It was like, it had the accuracy, but not the distance, I'm afraid. Shame. Well, that was Canada, lads and ladies. We now move on to England versus South Africa. Can England possibly get in front of New Zealand and Canada? Well, let's hope so. Or will South Africa manage to pull out an unbelievable streak-ending win? We'll have to find out. I'll see you then, lads and ladies.